great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.
Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 109. No, that's how many people are watching. Episode 866 of the Immigration Answer Show. I will be here for the next hour. I think I forgot to tell Hooli that I went live. I'm on location in the Panda Express parking lot. Everybody on TikTok, am I sideways or am I right side up? I don't know. I can't tell. Let me know in the comments if I'm sideways or not. I can try to turn am I sideways, you guys? Let me know in TikTok. How are you guys in YouTube land? I have a lot of friends waiting to talk to us. No. Yes. I'm sideways. Okay. So we'll do it like that. Let's see what we can do here. How's that? Is that better? That looks better. All right. We are on location in Chicago, Illinois, or the Chicagoland area, as they like to say up here. Oh, man. The one funky thing, I got my iPad going, I got my laptop going, and the mouse is going back and forth between the two spots. So let me take a deep breath. You might hear the Panda Express drive-through line. Don't ask why I'm here. I got a little chicken and veggies for lunch. Monty and the kids are back at the hotel. Nor's team went 1-1 today. They did not have a good game. Didn't have a good day at all, really. They won their first game, but they lost their second game, and they were playing 14U teams when they're 16U. So it was not a great day at the office. Good to see all of you, though. Let me turn on the comments. And let me say hello to everyone on TikTok. Thank you all for being here. I will take your comments or your questions as well. All right. So, okay, it's better. So they are not sideways now over on. Julian, thank you for saying enjoy Chicago. Robert's here. Hope's here. Vivu's here. Paige is here. Rick, hello. Javi's here. We got Northern Virginia. Oh, it's really nice here in Chicago. The humidity and the heat has sort of broken. It's about 75, sunny, but not too humid. Bobo says, God bless this show. Well, thank you, Bobo. You guys know what I'm doing tonight? I'm going to see Superman. That's right. Superman is out in your local theaters. And, you know, I'm a huge Superman fan. In fact, I couldn't find my Superman costume before we left St. Louis, but I was going to dress up as Superman for Nor's softball tournament. But I didn't do it. Probably a good thing I didn't since they lost. But I can't wait to see it tonight. So you guys might not know this, but the director of Superman went to my high school, and his brother was in my class. Very nice family, the Gunn family. Brian was very artistic. He's actually written a few movies that you may have seen. He worked on Scooby-Doo. He had a show. And anyway, Sean is another brother. He's in the movie. And then Jimmy is the director. So I'm excited to see it. Up here in Chicago, I got my tickets like 2 weeks ago. So I'll be going to see that tonight with Amani and the kids that are here, which is Yusuf and Noor. All right, I have Ali in the house. I have Should My Wife and Sabr. We're going to start off with them. So let me hide the current comment and go to Ali. Hello, Ali. Ali, you're on mute. Ali, your mic is muted. All right, we'll come back. Let's go to Should My Wife. Should my wife now change her surname? Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Jim.
How you doing?
Great. Yeah, so we're going to be filing her I-71 sometime shortly after November of this year.
Yeah.
And we were married in April of 2023, and we, I think because of the immigration process and other reasons, we have not yet changed her surname. Would it be advisable just to wait and not confuse the immigration bureaucracy, or is it possible to change her surname before we continue in the process?
I think that little is gained by changing it now. And since she's a year away from applying for citizenship, I would wait until then, and then her record is clean all the way through.
Okay. And then just one quick follow-up. As I understand it, as part of the naturalization process, we can do it through the judge or the court when that occurs. Is that correct?
And it's free. So you don't have to do a separate court hearing or do anything. It's one of the benefits of naturalizing. It's a great time to do it.
I see. Do we just indicate that on the N400, or how does that
Yeah,
work?
yeah. It'll slow things down a little bit. I know this will sound crazy, but they'll have to do a background check on her new name. But and so she'll just wait for it, and she'll have to see a judge if you live in a jurisdiction where the USCIS officers can naturalize people. You'll have to wait for that, but it's all worth it. I would wait.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, have a good day.
You too.
All right. Let's go to Sabr. Hello, Sabr.
Hello, Mr. Jim. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How you doing, Sabr?
I'm okay, and you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, I have a situation. Last time I told you I got my green card, but there was a mistake. The last letter of my last name was spelled W, which was supposed to be H. Then I sent I-90 to correct it, and I saw that it destroyed the other one. How long is it gonna take before they're gonna send the corrected one?
Oh, Mani told me yesterday taking 18 to 24 months to get the new green card, which is ridiculous.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay, Jim, thank you very much.
Bye, Sabr. See you, buddy. Can you guys hear us on Twitter okay? And you guys can hear me? I know there's a lot of background noise from the road and everything. Can you guys hear me all right? Let me know in the comments if you can hear okay. Some mean people are on Twitter. Uh-oh. All right. Let's go back to Ali, see if he's got himself unmuted. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Got you.
Yeah, sorry, I had technical issues.
No worries.
I had a very quick question. I'm not going to take much time, but with the travel ban and some of the cases that are already in the National Visa Center, in this case it's Somalia that's on the travel ban list. Do you think with the travel ban it would extend the processing time or make the case complicated at all? Especially if it's a son bringing their father to the United States.
A U.S. citizen bringing his father?
Yes.
So the ban doesn't apply. That's an immediate relative, so that's exempted from the ban. But yes, there's always extra processing for people from Somalia, if that's what you're asking.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, in this case, it's kind of weird because my father already had a green card, but he couldn't move to the United States because of family reasons and work and things like that. So they did not renew his green card when he came back. So he had to actually file it for a new green card again. So not sure if you think that would also complicate it even more, the fact that he had a previous green card?
Yeah, because one, they don't like it when people don't come after getting their green card. And two, I think the system has already sort of marked them as an LPR. So to get them to understand that he's not an LPR and he needs a green card also makes it slower. Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. That was my question then. Thank you very much.
All right. Great. Thanks, Ali. See you, buddy. Thanks. All right. We'll kick Ali and kick Sabr, and we are going to go to Rob and then AB and then Bibi. Oh, Hooli's here. Hello, Hooli. All right. Let's go to Rob. Hello. Sorry for the short notice, Hooli.
Hello, Jim.
Hello, Rob.
I'm sorry, it's the first time for me, so I will try to be quick. I got married with my wife in August 10th, 2022, and I received my conditional green card in May 6th, 2023.
Okay.
Before the I-751 in December 2024, we had a fight and we broke up. And after that, we got back to each other and we submit the I-751 based on marriage. We submitted it already, but
before the fight.
Yes, before 1 month of the expiration date of the green card.
But after you filed the stuff, so between the time you filed and the time it was due, you got in a fight.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but and I changed my address. I took another address, and but then we start talk with each other again, and we got back to each other.
Okay.
So she told me, let's submit based on marriage, not based on divorce, or and let's try to save this marriage. Let's try to work on some stuff in our relationship. So after that, we got back to fight again. We got back like most separated, like most time, like we don't talk to each other. We're mad at each other, like before. So my question now, should I update the immigration that like we because I didn't explain that like yeah I changed my address when I submitted my I-751, but I mentioned that yeah I have another address too under my name. So should I update the immigration? Should I tell them that yeah, I have another address. My situation with my wife is like yeah, up and down now. We had like been fighting like a lot, and yeah, sometimes we love each other like, but next day we hate each other again. Like yeah, our relationship is not stable. So should I update the immigration? Should I tell them?
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you want to become a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
What do you think would happen if tomorrow USCIS approved your I-751, and then you applied for citizenship later on, and then they found out that you had gotten your 751 approved without ever telling them that you and your wife were splitting up?
Oh, so I have to update that. And
First answer my question. What do you think would happen? So let's fast forward. So you're divorced by this point, so you have to wait the full 5 years, and then you apply for citizenship. And they look at the timeline and they say, look, you filed a joint 751. You told us that you were married. You told us everything was fine with the 751 with your marriage, and we approved it without an interview. And now here you are 3 years later applying for citizenship, but Rob, you lied to us. You never told us that you and your wife got divorced. What do you think would happen to your citizenship case?
but we didn't get divorced yet.
Okay. But you're living separately, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. After December.
I'm not
After,
talking about cute games that you can play with addresses. I'm talking about, for all intents and purposes, this marriage is over. And every day you go on with that 751 that you filed jointly on file, the more risk it is to you. The worst thing for you right now would be if they approve that 751 if you're living apart.
So should I update the I-751?
Yes, you should file a new 751 without your spouse.
Based on divorce, but we didn't get divorced yet. Like we try to save this marriage. I don't know how to do it now.
We talk about this all the time on the show, and the question is this going to go the distance? Is you don't have the luxury of regular couples to decide or to see if the marriage works out. You don't have that luxury because you have deadlines and you have filing requirements, and you have made representations to the government that if they found out about them and you weren't the one to tell them, you would have problems. That's what I'm trying to convey to you. So you're not like everybody else. You need to resolve this one way or the other. I don't care which way you resolve it, but if you're not 100% sure that this marriage is going to last at least till the 751's approved, or if you get what if you got an interview notice, they would say, are you guys living apart? And you'd have to say yes, otherwise you're lying. So for all those reasons, you've got to notify them that the joint, you want that 751 joint withdrawn, but first you want to file your own 751 without her.
But without her, but which waiver should I pick? Should I keep it like based on marriage?
Yeah, good faith marriage that just didn't work out. Yes, it's on marriage, but by yourself. It's a 751 with the good faith marriage exception. You had a real marriage, it just didn't work out.
Oh, and I should update this like as soon as possible, right?
Yes, because I really believe every day that thing's pending is a day that they could come knocking on your door, and if you're not at the address you told them, or if your spouse isn't there, you're in trouble.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Rob. Good luck, buddy.
Good luck. Okay. Is there any advice from you? Like,
Yeah, get a lawyer. That's my advice. Have a lawyer help you with this because you're in a very dangerous situation right now.
okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
See you, brother. Somebody was asking about my wristband. These are things that Monty got me. This one's from Belize, and this one's from, I think, Ireland. I don't know. All right, that was Rob. Yassine says, "Hire Jim." Thank you, Yassine. Always good to see you. Julian says, another situation where Jim has to give advice that someone doesn't want to hear. Yeah, people like to fight me. And you see, I was trying to get him to get there with me. Like, I wasn't telling him this is what he had to do. I wanted to change his thinking, right? How long will it take for my wife to get her green card? Alex asked. I just got married. Could be 3 or 4 months. Could be a year. Could be anywhere in between. So hopefully it'll go quickly. Just came from an interview 3 hours ago, and the officer said approved. It took like 10 minutes. Thanks, Jim. You're welcome, Jay. We're happy about that. No, the officer said we have more than enough evidence that we are married. Thank you, Jim, for your videos. No marriage questions, no grilling. He was super nice. Just asked the security questions on the 45. Good job, Jay. Jay's got the green card coming for his spouse. So I'm going to go to AB, then Bibby, then I-751 question. Hello, AB.
Hey, hello, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good, sir. First, I want to thank you for everything you do for us. God
Sure.
bless you
My
and
pleasure.
continue to strengthen you and your family. Thank you. I'll try to be quick. So, the first question is for a cousin. She received VAWA, a green card through VAWA in 2020, but during the process of when she was receiving the green card, they sent her a RFE to show a police report from Jamaica for police records. So she did. But in the RFE, they also asked for if she's been arrested, charged, or convicted of a crime in the US. But she did have a domestic issue where she never gave that uh, police disposition to USCIS. So they issued her the green card in 2021, even though she presented the Jamaican police report. So the 2021, she received the green card. Now, 5 years, because she has to wait 5 years from the time that the last disposition, which was 2020, she's wondering if can she apply for citizenship in 2025? Will she get arrested if she goes to the court or for the interview?
Well, naturalization, you don't go to court. It's all at USCIS. But so is there anything that she hid from them when she applied? I couldn't get the timeline down. Are you saying that they said, hey, have you ever had an incident, been arrested, and she sent them paperwork of the incident she had in Jamaica? She did send everything to them, or she didn't send everything to them?
Oh, she sent the one in Jamaica, but she thought that the one in the US was just a petty offense that she had with her new boyfriend. It was like a domestic incident. So she was charged for a violation in 2018 and a misdemeanor in 2019 for breaking her boyfriend's cell phone.
So
The other one was,
two things in America,
yes,
and she didn't disclose either of them?
she did not give it to you. No, she didn't know that it was needed. She just was watching an immigration show and then she found out that she was supposed to give that to them. So what she gave them was the Jamaican police report that was
But
requested.
so the request for evidence, was it for any documents related to any court stuff or just for the Jamaican stuff itself?
It was just for the Jamaican stuff, but they also made mention of if any arrests or any conviction.
Yeah. And she should have disclosed that on the 485 itself anyway.
Yeah.
So then the question is, first of all, you understand, AB, that no one's going to believe her when she says that she didn't know that she was supposed to disclose those things. They're going to say that she hid that from them, right?
Yeah, I told her that. Yeah.
But at the same time, if she was applying for adjustment of status, then they would have fingerprinted her, and in theory, they should have caught that themselves, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still her job to disclose it.
And she didn't go for an interview. They waived her I-485.
That was my next question. So tell me what the crimes were.
It
Busting
was
up
a
your
misdemeanor.
boyfriend's cell phone, and what was the other one?
The first one was she was pregnant and she had a fight with the boyfriend, so she slapped the boyfriend, and the boyfriend called the cops on her, so they
Yeah.
got her arrested, and then that was a violation charge. And then the second one was after she gave birth. She had another issue, and then she took her boyfriend's cell phone, and I think she smashed it on the floor, whatever, it broke. So the next charge was a misdemeanor, but it was breaking the cell phone of her, like a personal property of her boyfriend. So
Other than wanting to be a U.S. citizen, is there anything compelling that's pushing her to apply for her citizenship at the first available time? Obviously, I always want people to do that, but is there anything that, like, does she have someone she wants to sponsor, or is there something particular about her case?
no,
Yeah,
she
I
has
would.
family back in Jamaica, but I don't think so. She's
Yeah,
just she's afraid because of Trump. She wants to put in her N-400.
I
I
think I,
told her no.
I think I wouldn't. I'm not saying she can't ever, but I'm saying, so here's the standard, AB. The standard when you don't disclose something is whether this is the standard, whether it cut off a line of legitimate questioning from an officer. Now, obviously, she didn't have an interview, but of course, if she had disclosed it, she might have gotten an interview, right? So the question is it, would it have cut off the line of communication, and is it a material issue? And I think 2 arrests for a VAWA applicant that wants to get a green card, I think that was material, and she should have disclosed it. So I think if she applied for citizenship, they might deny her citizenship and take away her green card. So I think I'm with you. I would wait.
Oh, okay. And also one other thing, the VAWA green card that she received is different from the person that she had the domestic cases with is different from the other case that she had the VAWA with.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't matter either way.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So in this case, that's it. All right. So just one last question. I have an aunt who she was here since 2010, and she wants to put in the N-400, but she came with an immigrant visa. So they refused her twice. Is there any waivers to help her? Her English is not very good. She tried a civic test, but she didn't really pass it, and they failed her twice. Is there anything she can do? She's 71 now,
How long has she had her green card?
since 2010.
So there are these rules. I don't have them right in front of me, but if you email me, I can walk you through them. But basically, if you've been here for like 15 years and you're over 55, or 30 years and you're over 60 or 50, whatever it is, there's some combination of rules that might let her either not have to take the test, or take a simpler test, or be able to take it in her native language.
Oh, okay. So she doesn't have to do a medical waiver because of her English.
She might not need to.
Oh, okay. Is there an email that I can write down?
Yep. info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. I'll put it on the bottom of the screen right now.
Oh, okay. And she can do this herself, or she would need a lawyer to.
Yeah, I think having a lawyer would be helpful, because you got to sort of walk them through why she's eligible for the easier test or no test.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, so that was the 2 questions. So with that cousin, you said I should tell her not to. Should she wait till another government come in first before? Is there any waiver for her?
There's no waivers for citizenship. The only waiver would come into play is that they're trying to take away her green card and she needed us to stay. So the one thing I would do is I would do a G639, a FOIA request for her, to get a copy of her whole file and just see what's in there. There might be an argument if they knew about those arrests and chose not to interview her, then she might be in better shape. But right now, I would not file.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Thanks, AB.
Thank you so much.
You got it. All right. There's a hot discussion going on in the comments about air conditioning. Now, you guys should know that year round, I keep the temperature in the house at 65. So in the summer, we pay a lot of electric bills. In the winter, we don't pay a lot of bills. 65 is where it's at. I guess that's a good question in the comments. Where do you like to keep the thermostat? Now, my grandma, Thelma, used to keep it at 82. 82 year round. So that's nuts. In the sun, she had radiator heat, and it would go clank, 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 and spit out steam. And oh man, it was so hot over there. Hey, Kabine, quit spamming the Twitter or the TikTok. I'm an international student in F1 visa. My wife is a green card holder. How long will it take? Probably 3 years or until she becomes a citizen. All right, we got 71, 72. Joe says 62. That's what I'm talking about, Joe. I'm coming over to your house. Dammy, 65 is wild for winter. Dammy, one time, Yusuf's birthday was always on Thanksgiving or right around there. And one time the electricity went out for 4 days. And I got up one day, Dammy, and the thermostat was on 50. It said it was 50 degrees in the house. And that was when Amani made me go. We go buy a generator. And, of course, I bought the generator and was halfway home. And then the electricity finally came back on. But I did learn how to use the generator. And we've used it actually many, many times. In St. Louis, we don't bury our electrical wires, at least where we live. We're in sort of an older, woody kind of suburb of St. Louis. And so there's actually just a wire that hangs over not our driveway, but like our back parking area. And so we get a lot of, oh my God, Laura's electric bill was $750. Natalie says, once I'm done saving for immigration costs till it'll be on 65. That's what I'm talking about. 65. Yes. Is ICE deporting people with withholding of removal? Well, they can't right away. They'd have to reopen the case. We have a swimming pool, and Noor, that little bastard, Noor turned up the heat on the swimming pool because her friends were coming over for 88, and then she forgot to turn it off, and our electric bill was $1,000 in like April. We opened up the pool too early. Noor got in big trouble for that. All right, we're gonna go to Bibby, then Joy, then 751. Bibby, hello. You're on mute, Bibby. Hello, Bibby. We can't hear you. Oh my God, Laura said the fee. Well, Laura lives in the hottest place in America, I think, Palm Springs. $2,200. All right, Bibby, we're gonna put you back in timeout. Joy, hello. I don't know. You guys got to be ready when I call on you. I-751 question. Hello. You're on mute.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have a question about citizenship and I-751. So I just filed my I-751 and I received the notice of receipt. So it's extended for 48 months. So I had an issue where we got arrested, but the charges were withdrawn, and we declared that on the I-751 as well.
Who's we?
Like me and my spouse.
You both got arrested?
Yeah.
What for?
Because it was a joint bank account that we had. So we had some cyber thing that went on in our account, and we didn't knew about because we were not actively checking that, and we were visiting internationally, and when we came back, they said, "Oh, you guys have arrest warrant," and they arrested us, both of us.
I don't understand. What do they charge you with?
So theft.
And what does that mean, theft? How did they think you stole something?
Because they said the money came into your account, the joint account.
Where?
They said from someone else's account, which were the DoorDash account and something. So, yeah.
Okay, so you got arrested, and what happened to the case?
The case was withdrawn, so we got bailed out, obviously. But even before the first hearing, the case was withdrawn.
Because you guys were sort of part of the victims too. It wasn't you doing it. Somebody. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they charged both you and your spouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, obviously, because there was no hearing, case was withdrawn, and then we got it expunged as well and everything because because of obviously we both are working professionals, and my wife was uh, becoming a physician. So
Okay.
obviously that got us expunged and everything.
Okay.
I travel internationally for work. So after that, I traveled during Biden time, like, until last December. I took, 5 trips to Europe and all, and I came back. So whenever I come back, they took me to secondary and they just check, oh, it's withdrawn and it's fine, and they just let me go. Uh, so I am wondering, and I got that redress number because the lawyer advised me to get redress number, so that it makes it easier as well. Uh, so I'm wondering now, should I be okay to travel internationally with like keeping those papers like expungement and the withdrawn thing, or should I avoid?
Well, I want everybody to avoid travel. Anybody who's not a U.S. citizen, I'm telling them not to travel. That's because I'm being very careful about this. So I would say
Okay.
travel as little as you can.
Okay. How about Hawaii?
I mean, I would say travel. That's not international travel,
Yeah.
so that should be okay. But I just want you traveling as little as possible. You can apply for
Okay.
citizenship 1 year from now.
Yeah. So like I can apply in April, like next coming April.
Yeah, so I would just try to sit tight till then.
Yeah. Because I travel locally, like within US, because of my work.
Sure.
So yeah, like so that's not an issue. But yeah, I was just kind of worried
You
about this. Yeah.
even though that shit was expunged, do you still have like certified copies of everything? Because you're gonna need
Yes.
it. Yeah, good.
Yeah. Like so, I have everything. So when we filed I-751, we attached the expungement, like the case disposition with the stamped from the judge as well, signed and certified disposition, and we have from the police as well that everything was expunged and everything. So yeah, we attached all that to the I-751.
All right, have a good day. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Hey, I might take an interview August 8th in Santa Ana, California. I don't think that's very close to you, Laura. I don't think, but it might be close to Robert. Um, I have found my brother from another mother. Joe says, my dream is to live in La Jolla, San Diego, though one day when I'm a multimillionaire and I could afford those $1,500 electric bills every month, I'm moving there. I'm with you, Joe. That's what I want to do. I want to live in La Jolla. That's like my favorite place. I love La Jolla. All right. Let's try Bibby and Joy one more time. Bibby, you there? Hello, Bibby. Bibby's out of here. All right. Let's try Joy. Joy, are you there?
Yes. Hi, Jim.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for all you are doing for us. Really
Yep.
appreciate it. Good job.
Thank you.
I have a question regarding the updates they made on the I-693, the medical form. I didn't really get it very well. Does it mean that, let's say you did your medicals last year, can you use it this year?
I think it's still good for 2 years, I think. What is, when did you do your medical and have you already filed for something?
I did my medical in last year, July. And I was hoping to use it this year, but the dates are moving slow, so I don't know what is going to happen.
Wait, so you're saying that you filed it and wait, you
N-
got your medical and then did you file for something, or do you just have a sealed medical sitting around and you're waiting to file?
Yes, when I got approved for the employment base, then I did my medicals that I'm waiting for my date to become current for me to apply. I don't know if it's still good to use.
All right.
Is it still okay to use?
I'm looking right now.
Okay.
So you were in that scenario we were talking about earlier where you have a 693 in a sealed envelope, but you've never submitted your 485 because your visa didn't become current.
Yes, yes, I've not submitted 485 yet.
Um,
I'm hoping
okay,
it become
reading.
current soon.
Okay, hold on. That was the new rule was for people that filed and then withdrew and wanted to use the same medical.
Okay.
In answer to your question, I don't know the answer. If you email me, I can try to look it up, but I don't know it off the top of my head. I don't ever do medical stuff.
Oh, okay.
All right, just
Okay.
send us an email. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay.
Bye. All right, let's go to how about that? Hello. I love that picture. How about that? You're on mute. Julie's favorite. She's always waiting to drop that you're on mute.
Hello, Jim. Oh
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
shit, he did me.
You're good. Yeah, I picked you. Yep.
Hold on.
We're gonna go to Ty and then Mike, Roy. So guys, be
Hi,
ready. Ty,
Jim.
hi. Go ahead.
Hey, sorry. So last week I asked you a question about the filing fees for the VAWA, but you told me that there is no fees for the I-360, but the fees.
The
I
what?
trust your intuitions and your expertise, and well, I got information from two other attorneys, but I came to you because I've been watching you for a while, a long time.
Okay.
And I did some research. I even double checked the fee forms, the fee schedule, and it's saying $0. I'm just worrying about sending the fees, and USCIS, they not it. It's crazy. You're not gonna get it back
Well, if you're sending it without fees, then what are you worried about?
because the fee schedule says $0 for all the forms.
Right. So how?
Remember, they on April 2024. They had updated that there are $0 fees for all the forms. So I'm just trying to be sure.
Dude, I'm in the middle of a show. I can't look all that stuff. I did it once. Whatever I told you, if I told you the first time that the fees are $0, I'm gonna stick by that. I'm not gonna go look it up again while everybody's watching. I don't deal with
Oh
fees.
no, you didn't say $0, Jim.
Okay, what's the question?
I'm just asking, are there any fees for
I
the
don't know.
complete?
I don't know. I don't know. It's not my job. Look it up. Whatever
Okay,
it says on the thing is what it says. And
all right, thank you.
if you send it in with no fees, how are you out other than they reject it and send it back and tell you what the fee is? Good luck. I don't know. There's things I can do during the show and there's things I can't do during the show. I'm not going to go look up forms and prices and shit. I don't deal with that stuff myself. It's sort of not something that I really work on. Sorry. Ty, hello.
Hey, Jim.
How you doing?
Great. Thank you for having me on your show, and thank you for everything that you do.
My pleasure.
I have a question. I've talked to you several times about my husband. I'm a U.S. citizen, and I filled out a form for spousal visa, and he is here with me. He's got his green card, and
Nice.
yes, thank you. And so my big question is, I know you're saying limited international travel. Does that caution apply to my husband with his green card and spousal visa?
Sure.
Okay. We wanted to go over and check on his son.
You're going to go
And
together?
yes, but he's going to go ahead of me because I have a couple more days to work, and then I'm going to meet him over there, and then we're going to fly back together.
Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You okay with that?
I mean, generally, I'd rather you not travel, but he's probably been here for a while and not seen his family, so
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jim.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
All right, that was Ty. Let's go to Mike. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
So, my parents and I left Vietnam back in 1980s, and we immigrated here to the United States. So, with 8 kids in tow, they don't know everybody's birthday, their birth, etc. So, they made one up for me. So, long story short, I became a citizen, and then I have a right at the birthday and stuff. So, I went back to visit Vietnam and went to check on the church my baptism records, and I realized the date they have for me is wrong. How do I change it on the U.S. citizenship certificate?
I don't think that's a can of worms you want to open.
Okay, just leave it as that is.
I think
As is.
the date you have now is the date of your birth.
Oh, okay. So there's no court you can get the judge to whatever to force them to change it.
No, I don't think so. I mean, you have to understand something. If you open up that can of worms, they might say you misrepresented your birthday and you lied to them and you made up a birthday.
Because my parents put it in, not me. You know what I mean? It's like they when we came here from we left as immigrants.
When did you file for citizenship?
Oh, this law back to 1995.
You filed for citizenship yourself in 1995?
No, I'm a citizen already. I mean, I got my certificate back in 1995.
Yeah. So how old were you in 1995?
Geez, 18, 19,
So did you do an N600 or an N400?
600.
I just think there's nothing to be gained, and I sure as hell wouldn't do it now with Trump in office. I just don't know why you would mess with it.
Oh, okay. So just leave it as is then.
I would.
Okay. So there's no way of changing because basically I'm a year and a half older than what the actual date is.
So tell all the ladies they'll be happy that you're a younger man. It's all good.
Yeah, my whole point was I want to retire early. That's the reason why I want to get it changed, so that I don't have to work an extra year and a half. That's really the reason why I want to change.
I think that it's what you would try to do is almost impossible and certainly not a good idea in Trump land.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, thanks.
See you, bud.
Bye.
All right. TikTok says, I came to the U.S. as a derivative from my wife's asylum. Do I have to apply for work permit or just wait? Yeah, you'll have to apply. Gone are the days where you just get to work. Are they waiving interviews for EB1A 485? Thank you for your generosity with your time, Dr. Who. Thank you, Dr. Who. I would say that my understanding is everybody has to have an interview these days. Everybody has to have an interview. Hey, my friend's mom's visa got revoked because she stayed for 4 months. Will that affect her I-130? Is she overseas or is she here in the United States? That's the tricky thing. I had a 2-year green card. They renewed it for 4 years. Am I qualified to apply for citizenship? Yeah, 1 year later. So 1 year after you file for the 751. How long are 751s taking in New York? All 751s are taking about 2 years, and it's the running of it's the filing of citizenship that'll get that thing moving. Okay, the mom is in Jamaica. So why'd you let your mom overstay? It shouldn't impact things, but you could have filed for adjustment for her here. I just don't know what you guys are thinking, but it probably won't affect the marriage or the family-based I-130. I don't think they're going to care that she overstayed. It's not a big deal. All right. Isn't it nice having Huli here? We got Breeze and then Joe, then Wahid. Breeze, hello.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for taking the time to help us.
Got it.
I have a question. I just want to briefly tell the story. I've been in the U.S. since I was 8, from 1999. I entered the country through the B1, B2 visa, and I don't have a criminal record. I've had DACA since October of 2000. Since then, I've never let it expire.
Okay.
I am now married to a U.S. citizen.
Awesome.
We have 2 kids. He wants to petition for me, but while starting the process, I've run into some roadblocks with the question of if I worked without authorization, which I did. I believe I started working around 16 years old up until I was 23 when I received my DACA. And I believe I have answered yes to being a U.S. citizen on a I-9 before getting DACA. Is that even worth pursuing my case? Is it going to bar me?
Well, here's how I would think about this situation, okay? If someone believes they might have marked a box on an employment form that allowed them to work is different than someone who knows 100% that they marked a box, I'm a U.S. citizen and we're allowed to work. Do you understand the difference?
Yes.
So I would think long and hard, and I don't necessarily want you to say it right now while we're talking, but I would think long and hard about which I did and then proceed accordingly. In answer to your question, if you marked a box that you were a U.S. citizen in order to work at the mall or wherever between the ages of 16 and when you got DACA, That is a deportable offense. It would keep you from getting your green card through your spouse, and we get you deported.
Okay. I've read that you could request under FOIA to see if you can see the I-9 forms that you've submitted in the past.
No, that's going to be almost impossible. They don't ever attach that to your alien number or your DACA case. The thing you would do instead is try to track down the places where you worked and see if they have some kind of a record. Because sometimes if this comes up while you're applying for your green card, they might ask you to go get those records. So it's better to get them before you apply. Does that make sense? The other thing you need to think about is a FOIA might be a good idea for your prior DACA applications in case they ever asked you about false claims to citizenship. I don't think those are on there, but they might be.
I don't think they are.
Yeah.
On there.
I think that's right.
Follow-up question to that is, I believe that all of the companies that I worked would they still be able to pull up anything in regards to that? If it's like through the payroll company.
It's hard to say.
Okay. So nothing.
I've been amazed at some of the documents that people have been able to find. As a lawyer, even before as an immigration lawyer, I've been amazed at some of the things that people said were impossible to get and actually get it.
Okay. Yeah, because one of the companies that I was working for, I believe they switched payroll companies like 3 times while I was there. So it's a lot to try to track down.
Yeah.
But I can certainly try.
Thank you, Breeze.
Thank you.
If you need any help, let me know, okay?
I will. Thank you.
Bye. All right. That was Breeze. And there is a nice breeze here in beautiful Orland Park, Illinois. I don't know if we're going to do a show tomorrow. We might. We'll probably do shows this weekend at various points. You should text the word show to 314-470-3300 if you want to get in the waiting room to ask me a question. We're going to keep going with the show and go to Joe. Hello, Joe.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
My question is regarding T visa. So it's for my parents. They came to the U.S. in 2002 under the pretense of employment and pay. However, when they got here, they were forced into farm labor and they were never paid. I believe they were ill-advised to file for asylum, and that was denied. And now we've been advised to seek T visa as an option. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I can't. I mean, are they in removal?
Yes.
So I want you to know that I've never filed a T visa case. Okay, so everything I'm taking is a pretty superficial level. A T visa could be a viable option. I don't know. Do they have a deportation order right now, or? Well, first of all, let's talk about this. Would you say that their asylum case had things in it that weren't true, or was it just a weak asylum case?
It was a weak asylum case.
Okay. So, sort of like the people that were trafficking them would making threats that if they go back home, they're gonna fuck them up, stuff like that.
Separate entities.
Okay. I mean, the thing is, it's a last ditch effort. There's a certain number of T visas that are available every year, and I don't know if the court's going to keep things open for them if they raise that. Has the immigration judge already taken their pleadings? Do you know what that means?
No, I don't understand.
Okay, so once you get a notice to appear, you have to show up in court, and they ask you, to admit or deny the allegations, and then to raise the legal defenses that you think you have to against deportation. Has that happened yet? Have they seen a judge yet?
Not on that regard, no.
So do they have a court date?
They had a court date back in 2018.
Yeah.
Where it was just a trial.
Oh, they
And
had a trial. Okay.
yes,
So they have seen the judge.
yes, they have.
And
But they have
did
not
lose?
seen anyone regarding the removal order.
Wait, but did they lose? They lost and they got ordered
Yes,
removed.
they lost the case.
And
They appealed and also lost.
so why
Appeal.
haven't they been deported yet?
I don't know.
Okay. So they're in a tough spot. If the question is, Jim, my parents have what might be a very valid, my parents have what might be a very valid T visa case, but they've already been ordered removed and no one raised the T visa as a defense to removal. Do you think that in the age of Trump, any lawyer who's a magical T visa lawyer could reopen their case and save them from deportation by raising a T visa defense now, or an ineffective assistance of counsel defense against their prior attorneys for not raising the T visa application and instead raising the dumb asylum defensive application? That's the question.
Pretty much, yes.
I think it's really, really hard. I think the chances are very, very small.
Okay.
Not to say impossible, but number one, they need to find a T visa attorney who lives near where they live or who's really good at it. And two, the idea that the BIA's already ruled and said they're going to get deported and that they're raising this T visa now, I think the chances of success are less than 5%.
Okay. Do you have any advice what their options are? They do own properties and they have a business.
What's your status?
I'm married to an American citizen. I'm going to have my green card interview soon, and we have a baby.
So you're 3 years at least away from being able to sponsor them.
Correct.
I think you just lay low and wait till you become a citizen and see what happens. I don't think this is the time to be raising their hand and reminding them that you're here.
Okay.
All right.
Understood.
Sorry,
Thank
Joe.
you.
See you, buddy.
All right.
You got it. We're going to go to Wahed, then I-130 question. Wahed, hello. Wahed, are you there? Paging Dr. Wahed. Number one. Wahed, hello. All right, let's go to I-130 question, then Blessing.
Hello.
Hi, go ahead.
Hi, Jim. Yeah, the question is for my brother. So he was coming here on visitor visa to state since 2016, but he came last time on 2026 and he got married with U.S. citizen. So he have the marriage-based I-130 interview coming up on July 24th, but he recently separated with his wife. They are not divorced, they just separated, and she's not willing to go to interview with him.
So he's going to get deported.
Do we have another option? Can we file the VAWA?
Did she beat the shit out of him?
Yes, there's a lot of abuse. She was arrested a couple times during their 2 years marriage, and we have a
during what? During what?
We have a lot of proof of abuse.
Did you say from a previous marriage?
No. Say during their 2 years marriage, she was arrested a few times.
Okay, so let's back up. When did your brother last enter the United States?
February 2023.
And what country is he from?
Ethiopia.
When did he get married?
He got married end of March 2023.
So he got married 6 weeks after arrival?
Yes.
Did he know this person before he came to the United States?
Yes, they've been dating since 2018.
So he would come on a visit, go back and forth?
Yes.
When was the last time he obtained a visit visa to the United States? Did he have a 5-year visa, or did he have to renew it every year, or what was the deal?
No, he had a 10 years visa.
10-year visa. Okay, perfect. Okay. So he had the visa even before he met her?
Yes.
Okay. And during all those visits, he never overstayed?
No, he never overstayed.
Okay, so then he enters in February of 23 and gets married in March 23. So you know that's a problem in and of itself, right?
Yes.
Because you're not supposed to enter on a non-immigrant visa and get married within 60 days. Otherwise, they think you had immigrant intent, right?
Yes.
So that's a problem, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that in and of itself is a problem. Okay, so 2023, they've not had their green card interview set for next week.
Yes, for 24th of July.
So the case has been pending 2 years, and now he finally has his interview coming up.
No, actually, it wasn't pending. It was denied once because he left the country. He went to Caribbean when his case was processing. He didn't know he can't leave the country, so they rejected him for abandon the case. So they reapply again.
So he didn't apply for advanced parole. He just left with a 45 pending, and they said it was abandoned.
Yes.
And the I-130 remained pending.
Yes.
How did he get back into the United States?
They didn't give him any hard time.
So he entered back on his visit visa?
Yes.
Okay, so that's also a problem because they're going to say he lied his way into the United States.
Oh my God.
So he's got two big problems. Okay. All right, so when did he leave and when did he come back?
He left, I think it was like end of 2016, end of 2023.
And how long was he gone?
He was gone for 4 days.
4 days?
Yes.
Where did he go?
He went to Dominican Republic.
Just for like a vacation?
Yes.
Did he go with his wife or without?
No, without. He went with his 2 friends.
Why did he go without his wife to Dominican Republic?
It was a bachelor party. One of his best friend was getting married, so it was a guy's trip.
Okay. And I don't know if you know the answer to this question or not, but like, how much marriage evidence did they submit? A lot or a little?
They submit their lease together. She's a beneficiary in his account. I think they have a few bills together and pictures, their wedding pictures, stuff like that.
So that sounds pretty weak. Is she also of Ethiopian descent?
No.
How did they meet?
They met in club when he was visiting back in 2018.
Have either of them been married before?
He was married back home before he met her.
He was married back home when he got his visit visa.
He was married when he first got his visit visa. He was married, but he divorced before he met her.
How much time passed between when he divorced the wife in Ethiopia and the time he met his current wife?
A little bit over a year.
Okay, so he had never met the current wife before he divorced the prior wife.
No.
Okay, and are they still living together?
She moved out last week. She moved out on July 5th.
July 5th? What precipitated? Why did she move out July 5th?
They had a big fight on July 4th after the holiday celebration. She's on substance abuse, so there is a lot of issue going on.
Does she have a criminal record?
Yes, she does.
Like what?
Drug use, and then a robbery, physical abuse with other people.
Did he know this stuff when he married her?
No, he didn't know.
Are you sure?
As far as I know, he didn't know.
Okay. All right. Now, okay, so she moved out July 5th. Tell me about the documented instances of spousal abuse by the U.S. citizen.
Like the proof he have?
Well, what happened and what the proof is.
Oh, so there's a lot of like a threatening text messages, mostly text message, voice record, like threatening to beat him up, to call police on him, to cancel his green card.
That's not VAWA.
Oh, I think that's it. I don't think he have anything more than that.
Like, did she ever beat him up? Did she ever hit him?
No.
Did she ever send him to the hospital with bruises or anything?
No.
Did he ever call the police on her?
Yes.
For what?
I think he was breaking stuff around the house.
Yeah, that's not VAWA.
Okay.
I think your brother's in big trouble.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, you can tell from our pretty much everything we just talked about is going to come out at his interview, right? You got
Okay.
a really short marriage. You got no documented evidence of abuse. You've got a pretty thin I-130 case.
Mm-hmm.
He married someone who's a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
That always cuts both ways, right? Because like that's who you chose to marry, so you're probably hanging around with criminal type people. This is what they say. I'm not saying that's true,
Right.
but they think that you sort of are, and criminal type people are more likely, according to USCIS, to enter into a fake marriage to get money for their drug habit, right?
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
So I think that, well, the question is, what happens on July 24th, right? So what is the plan? I mean, do they have a lawyer?
Yeah, he have a lawyer.
Did the lawyer file the paperwork?
Yes.
So that lawyer now has a conflict because that lawyer had two clients, a husband and a wife, and now
Mm-hmm.
the husband and the wife have different motives. She
Yes.
wants to divorce him, he wants to stay in the United States. I don't see a path for him to stay in the United States based on this marriage.
Okay.
So I mean, for all we know right now, do you know if she has withdrawn the I-130, or did she used to threaten to do that to him?
Yeah, she just threatened to do that, but I don't think she actually did.
Okay, so I think that either way, it's not approvable if she won't show up and say, "Yeah, this was a real marriage that just didn't work out." I think he's screwed, and he's out of
Yeah.
status.
Okay.
So I think if he shows up, he's going to get a denial notice and a notice to appear. I think if she withdraws the I-130, he's going to get a notice to appear, or if he withdraws the 485, he's going to get a notice to appear. So either way, I think he's getting a notice to appear in deportation court, and the VAWA case doesn't sound very strong.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye. That's a tough one. Yo, Dad, we got to go hit some softball soon. Nor, it's only 3:30. You said I got to be there at 4:05. I'm 5 minutes away. So I got another 24 minutes, and then I'll come get you. So don't be busting my softballs, if you know what I mean. But I'm pumped. I'll be here all week. Spinning jokes, inappropriate dad jokes, testicle jokes. I'm always up for some good testicle jokes. We're going to go to Blessing, then to Jay. Blessing, hello.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
I hear you great. How you doing?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
My pleasure.
Okay. So I recently I'm a Canadian, and then I came to Texas, and then I got married to my husband about 9 months after I came in. And we just recently got called for marriage interview. In the beginning, it was going very well, but at the end, when she asked about what I told the immigration officer when I was coming in, because we don't use visa to come in as Canadian, we can just come in at any time.
Yeah.
So at some point, sometime last 2 years, I did apply for TN visa, which was denied. They said it wasn't denied, actually, it was withdrawn. They said the employer doesn't have the right to hire me in that capacity. So then when I came in here, I was just hanging in here and doing my online master's degree courses. And then when we then went for the interview, they asked me the exact word I told the officer upon entry.
And
So,
what did you tell them?
so I told them that I was returning because I was coming in with my friend to go see some properties. And then I told them we were coming in to see those properties, and then we were meant to return that day. But once I came in, because my husband is in the military, when I came in, he was like, okay, now you are in, why don't you just come see me before you go back? Like, so I came in to see, I then left from where I was with my friend, and then I went to go see him. So seeing him, he kept me around, and it's like there's no point going back. And I just got a job offer that was renewed. So I wanted to go back because of the job, but he held me back. He said, I know once you go back, you're not going to come back in here to be with me. So I stayed. From then on, I stayed for 9 months before we eventually got married. So now when they asked me that question, to be frank, I actually forgot what I told the officer when I was coming in. I forgot that I told them I was going to go back that day. So I said something different as to I was just coming in, and I was coming with my friend to buy property. And then, you know, I didn't exactly say that I told them that I was going back to Canada that same day. And I have a daughter who is also under the same application, and they asked me about the return ticket I bought for my daughter, and I said it was for 2 weeks. And I just recently found out, checked because we went for the interview 2 weeks ago, and I've been waiting for them to get back to us. I didn't hear anything. And then I went back to check on the ticket that I bought for my daughter, because she's staying back with me as well. And I realized that the return ticket was just 4 days. So that is already discrepancies. Like,
Was just one way, you mean?
no, so when I bought the ticket for my daughter, I bought two-way. Like, I bought a return ticket for my daughter. So the return ticket, the day she was supposed to return to Canada was just 4 days. But unfortunately, I said to the officer who was interviewing us that it was 2 weeks. That I don't know how my mind told me at that point that it was 2 weeks. And now looking back at that interview, so I went back to check her return ticket, but she didn't go back to Canada anymore. So she didn't use the return ticket. So now it looks like I lied on the interview, and everything went downhill because I lost my son to my previous marriage. And she asked me about that question, what happened with my previous marriage. So talking about my late son and the trauma with that marriage and how the marriage ended, I actually cried during the interview. Like, it was like I became emotional narrating all that. So when we then got to the question of how we came in, um I think I blew it. So I think I know there is discrepancies. Like, it looks like a lie now, and I know that lying under oath is a very severe offense. So I don't know whether to write a supplementary statement and then send it to her. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused right now.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling me all that. And first and foremost, let me say I'm sorry about your son. How old was he?
It was 8.
I'm very
8
sorry.
months. 8
Oh,
months.
8 months. Oh, geez.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
So, okay. So let's talk immigration. So, did your daughter come to the United States on a plane ride after you were here?
No, she came before me.
She came before you.
Yes.
Who did she stay with?
She stayed with one of my friends that I met here in Texas. I already bought a house here in Texas before we moved in finally. So she stayed with one of my neighbors.
Wait, you're telling me that so okay. Um have you ever had a TN visa, or this was the first
No, no, that was the first time I applied and it was denied.
Okay. So when did that happen?
It happened in March of last year.
Okay.
And
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 when did you buy this house in Texas?
in February
Of 25?
last year. Same last year. I bought the house before the TN visa.
And how did you do that? Were you in the United States?
I was coming in and out. I was coming in and out of United States, and I have been with my husband now since 2020, late 2022, December of 2022. Actually, we've been dating since
Okay.
December of
So
2022. So,
okay, I got it. So
mm,
here's what USCIS thinks.
mhm,
USCIS thinks that about 3 years ago,
mhm,
you were in your relationship with your military man, and that
mhm,
you made the decision
mhm,
to move to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
You first tried a TN visa, that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So then you said, I'm coming to look at some property with my friend, and you quickly went to stay with your now husband. You also sent your child ahead of you so that everybody would be in the United States. They think that you had immigrant intent and that all these activities, buying the house, trying to get a TN, sending your daughter, was all part of your plan to get around the immigration laws, which would require you to file an I-130 to get married and file an I-130 petition through your husband, or for him to file a fiance case. Basically, they think you tried to jump the line.
Wow.
So that they I think I'm almost 100% sure they're going to say that you need a waiver, that you made misrepresentations when you came through customs, that maybe there's some answers on your 485 that aren't right, and most importantly, that you had immigrant intent when you tried to get your TN visa and when you entered as a Canadian.
Okay.
So I think, did they separate you from your spouse?
No, they did not. Myself, my child, and my husband, I, and my daughter was in the interview.
Okay. Does your spouse know about all this stuff?
Yes, he does. Mm-hmm.
I think that you might get another interview. I think you need to get a lawyer involved yesterday, and I think you're in trouble.
Oh, wow.
I think the fact that he's in the military might make a waiver case pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But we could talk about that, or you should talk to a lawyer about that, because I think that they're going to have knives out for you. And I don't know. I don't want you to say on the air which field office this is, but there are certain field offices in Texas that are very tough. And so I think you need my help. I think you should email me or email some other attorney and get an attorney involved sooner rather than later. I don't think, in answer to your question, I don't think you should write a long letter explaining all this stuff until they ask you.
Okay, sounds good.
I think they're gonna call you in for another interview. I think.
Okay, so if they call me for interview, because my husband is going on deployment soon, so if they call for interview and my husband is on deployment, what can I do?
There's things we can do. You can tell him that he's on deployment. We can postpone stuff or keep things going. But I don't think they like your case very much.
I know. Okay, I'll write you an email. I already got your email. I'll send you an email.
Okay, perfect. Thank you,
Thank
Blessing.
you so much, Jim. I really appreciate you. God bless you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Bye. Hoolie's giving me thumbs up. Oh, okay. Yep. Thank you, Hoolie. All right. Noor's saying I should get going. I could probably take one or two more calls. Let's see what TikTok says. I made an errata sheet for 2 questions, but had explained my doubts in the original application. Sorry, I don't know what that means. My wife and I are going to get divorced, but my 751 is pending. What should I do? You should watch this show from the beginning, because we talked about it at the very beginning of the talk. Is the new DUI bill retroactive? The new DUI bill is not law yet, so I'm not worrying about it too much right now. Friend misrepresentation waived. New I-45 approved. Will citizenship be a problem? It could be. Got to be careful about how you answer all the questions on there. Dan, hello.
Hi, Dan. Hey, Jim. Sorry. So I was just wondering, for a couple that is consular processing and the sponsor lives and works in the U.S., is there like a kind of ratio that USCIS likes or expects or thinks is normal in terms of how much time is spent earning money in the US and meeting and exceeding the affidavit of support amount versus spending time overseas with your spouse?
Not that I know of, but why don't you tell me what you're thinking, and I'll tell you if that sounds reasonable.
Like work 7 months in the US, making 75 grand and spending the other 4 months overseas with spouse?
I think it's great. I think it's perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
That was easy. Thanks, Dan, and long live Ukraine. Fuck Putin and fuck Trump. Let's go to Wahed. Hello.
Hey, Jim. Are you hearing me?
I got you, brother. How you doing?
Good, good. Thank you for all that you're doing for us, and I really appreciate you.
Wahid. Arby
Mhm.
for the number, Arabic for one, everybody. That's your Arabic lesson for today. Hello, Wahid. What can I help you with?
Yeah, one main one.
Yep.
So I entered to the U.S. Through Mexico-U.S. border on 18th of October 2023, like pretty much like 2 years with a humanitarian parole, which is expired now. And I applied right away to asylum, and my asylum is pending with immigration court right now, and I have the EAD for 5 years. And I'm trying to file a case for U visa, which I was a victim of crime last year, and I get the crime certification, which is Form I-918B from law enforcement, and I gather all the information and evidence. So I'm worrying about the expedited removal process. Like these days, ICE is arresting people from immigration court, and as much as I know that expedited removal is when someone is illegal in the U.S. and they are less than 2 years here. But my hearing is right like 10 days before my complete 2 year in the U.S. So with pending asylum and pending U visa, can they potentially put me in expedited removal process or not?
What is the hearing that's 10 days before your 2 year anniversary?
That is asylum hearing, my master calendar hearing with immigration court.
Is it your first master calendar?
Yes.
I would get an attorney, and I would ask the attorney to enter for you to appear telephonically at their office or on WebEx at their office, and see if you can do that.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. So if I change my hearing from in person to online, is that gonna help?
Well, ICE won't be there waiting to get you.
I'm not sure that it's happening all the time. This days.
What do you mean?
Like if I change my interview from in person to online, so that's gonna make me away from
Well,
arresting.
you're worried about them coming to the immigration court and detaining you, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So the current thing that most deportation attorneys are doing right now is asking the court for permission for them and their client to attend by WebEx in the hopes that ICE, it's very, very easy for ICE to go to the immigration court. It's harder for them to come find you, right? That's the motive.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and one thing more that my judge is not assigned yet. Like there is showing a visiting judge. So what that means? Like there is no judge, or there is judge shortage, or
It almost for sure means everything is going to be by WebEx. They could be beaming in from some other court. It might not be assigned. The whole thing might get postponed.
okay. And can a bona fide determination of U visa avoid the deportation?
No, they're crazy. They're off the chain. They're doing whatever the f they want right now. Do you have a lawyer?
No, I did that all by myself.
You better hurry up and get a lawyer, a deportation lawyer where you live yesterday.
All right.
I think you've brought this as far as you can, Wahid.
I already filed that, like I am also asylum, and I study a lot for that. And I
Wahid,
Mhm.
do you want to stay in the United States?
Yeah, I want.
Then go hire a lawyer.
Got you. For all asylum process, or just for a defense of removal?
Well, asylum is your defense to removal. It's one of your defenses. So
Okay.
yeah, you want a lawyer who's going to take care of the whole thing.
Got you.
Thanks, Wahid.
Thank you, Mr. Jim. Mhm.
Bye, buddy. All right, let's go to naturalized citizen. Hello.
Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Good.
go
How are
ahead.
you?
I'm great.
So I was naturalized in 2013, so about 15 years ago. And at the time, I had a few speeding tickets, but I couldn't get records of all my speeding tickets. On the N400, I did indicate that I had received speeding tickets, and I put one down that I had records of. With everything going on right now, is this something that could become an issue?
I think very unlikely. Very
Okay.
unlikely. I mean, I think the question you want to ask, and I'm first of all, let me say, I'm very, very sorry that 12 years after you naturalized, you're sitting here worrying about these dumb fucks trying to mess with your citizenship. Okay, so on behalf,
I mean, I had, yeah,
on behalf of all
I had,
licensed
yeah.
Americans, I'm sorry that you're going through that. Okay, but in order for them to denaturalize you, this is what would have to happen. They would have to file a lawsuit against you in federal court and ask a judge to strip you of your citizenship. You would have a chance to have a lawyer, you would have a chance to raise defenses, and the strongest defense you would have to deportation was 2 undisclosed traffic tickets. Whether I disclosed them or not would have had no impact on whether I became a citizen. So this whole action is stupid, and I don't think this is the kind of case, Jim, I'm now saying I don't think this is the kind of case they're thinking about denaturalizing people. They're looking for people that were engaged in pretty heavy criminal stuff that came to light after they naturalized, but was occurring during the time they did naturalize. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I had 5 or 6 tickets that I just couldn't get records for.
Did you tell them
They
that?
were all out of. So I think I had told the interview or the interviewing officer verbally, but I think she just shrugged it off. She didn't even bother to.
Here's what I'll
follow
say.
up.
Here's what I'll say. If that happens to you, and you need an expert witness to come in there and say, Your Honor, I've been to 300 naturalization interviews, and every single naturalization interview I've ever been to, they've said, do you have a traffic ticket? Especially back in 2013. Did you have a traffic tickets? Yeah. Did you take care of them all? Yeah. Okay, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, none of them. They were all minor speeding tickets, no DUIs, nothing that looked like turn arrest or anything serious.
I would go to bed tonight and say to myself, I talked to Jim about this. I'm never going to worry about this again because I don't think you need to.
Okay, yeah, because it's been keeping me up at night. So,
yeah,
but I appreciate that.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, bud.
All right, thank you.
Yep. All right, we'll do one more. We're going to talk to Sean. Sean, hello.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
So, I was I want to go for my citizenship,
Okay.
and I filed for VAWA like 4 years ago, and I got my green card through VAWA. But I was highly abused, and also from that abuse, I watched my stepfather murdered in my country, and I've been through like very, very highly abused and watched my stepfather murdered in Guyana. And I was traumatized from the abuse and traumatized from that. And upon coming to America, I couldn't, like in Guyana, they don't have therapists and psychologists. So coming here, I started to see therapy. I was admitted in on the psyche department, and I'm on medication for it. And also, like now, because the trauma that I went through from my past marriage, it was like a push down, hit on my head. And like a year, 2 years ago, I started forgetting things a lot and couldn't work anymore. Like I could be somewhere and I don't know where I'm at. My family have to keep me home. They have to take me to appointments and stuff. And I want to go for my citizen, and I want to know with them, like if my psychologist and my therapist, like if they could do the form, like how do I like, because I could be good today and like tomorrow I don't know what I'm doing. And like I'm studying for the test, and you could ask me questions today about it. I'll tell you all the 100 questions. And like 2 days later, you ask me and I can't remember. And then you ask me 2 hours later and I remember.
Okay, so lots of things I want to say, okay?
Yes.
Number one is you should be really proud of yourself for just surviving all of that. I'm very sorry that you went through all that, and you should be extremely proud of yourself that you're able to live this life in America, and I'm very happy for you, okay?
Thank you.
Number two, I would say take your shot. File the M400, pay the fee, take your shot. You get 2 chances, right? So
yes,
you show up, you take the test, hopefully you have a good day that day. If you don't, they'll give you like 6 more weeks, and then they'll do it again. So I would say take your shot, see if you can pull it off, and if
Yeah.
it either way, call back and let me know so I know. And if it doesn't, then we can talk about all that stuff. Because the thing is, most of the time when I've gone for disability waivers on the N400, they almost always still ask the person to take the test, because
Yeah.
then they don't have to do that extra paperwork that goes into approving a 648.
Yeah.
So I would say take your shot, take it twice, call me back and say, Jim, I'm in line for my oath ceremony, because I think that's what's going to happen. And just do your best, and then we do it again. We'll talk next time about all that. You don't want to mess with all that if you don't have to.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much, Jim.
I think you're going to do it, brother. But please, please, please let me know how it goes, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right. Good luck, my friend.
Bye-bye.
Makes me sad when I hear about abuse. You know that. All right, listen. Whistlene's asking me to be your lawyer. Whistline, you know how to get a hold of me. People are asking how to get a hold of us. 314-961-8200 is our office number. info@hackingimmigration.law is our email address. That's for people who want to hire us. So the purpose of calling the firm is to hire us. If you're just looking for free resources, we got a bunch of them, and that would include our Immigrant Home Facebook group, which you should join. There's 15,000 people in there. Our TikTok account @Immigration Hacking. The YouTube account where we post new videos 3 or 4 times a week and do this show. You can subscribe and get an alert to come on the show or ask me a question. And then, of course, if you want to ask me a question, the best thing to do, as Huli said, is to text the word show to 314-470-3300, and we'll be there. You'll get a text when we go live next. Like I said, we'll probably do a show tomorrow and or Saturday. The best way to know when I'm going to go live today, I only gave about a half hour notice because softball ended. But now I got to go. Nor wants to get some wax in at the batting cages, so I'm going to go do that. Then we're going to get some dinner. Then we're going to go see Superman. So I'm very excited. I think I'm going to wear pink from now on. What do you guys think? I like the pink. Huli? Yeah, Huli likes it. All right, everybody. Musa says, you help many people. May God grant you a long life with health. Well, I say that for all of you as well. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Be kind to each other. Say a little prayer for our friend who was just on the show last. And we'll see you guys on the next show. Bye, guys.
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of disease